Hello and welcome to this training, 25 marketing tips that you are not doing, or 25 marketing tips that you could be doing right now, or 25 marketing tips that will revolutionize your business, however you got here. I'm Darcy Benicosa and I'm going to lead you through 25 marketing tips that you could be doing right now to add income and visibility into your business and your brand. First of all, thank you for being here. This training is going to be intense. It's going to be fast. We've got 25 tips to cover, and I know how valuable your time is. I know that you are a creative, running your own business or dreaming of running your own business and taking control of your life, your bank account, and the clients that come into your life and the projects that you get to create. You know, I remember when I first started out, I was a high school teacher for 14 years before I started my own business. And when I started my own business, I became a wedding photographer. And I remember working so hard. And then every morning I would get up and check my inbox to see if an inquiry had come in. Within about 8 months, I realized how disempowering my email inbox made me feel, because the days that I would wake up, which was most of the days, I didn't get several inquiries a day or anything at the beginning of my business. I would wake up, I would check my inbox, and if there wasn't an inquiry in there, I would feel completely disempowered. I would feel hopeless. I would worry that I would have to go back to school teaching, even though I had had this grand farewell party. My work threw me a party and was like, go, you're going to be famous. Go shoot for Sports Illustrated, because one of the first jobs I had when I left my teaching career was working for Sports Illustrated magazine. So I had this grand farewell, and then a few months later, I was worried about what was in my inbox. And I realized at that moment that feeling of disempowerment was actually really hard for me. I didn't like it, and I didn't want to be a victim of it anymore. And so I decided that I would not be a victim to what inquiries were coming in my inbox, how clients were finding me, and I was going to go out, find my own clients, and learn how to market like a ninja. So marketing became just as important to me as the creative work I was making. You know, at that time, it was solely photography that I was making my living at. And I decided that even though the artistic side of me said business is hard, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to grow, I'm not sure how else to do this besides just posting here or word of mouth, I decided to take marketing and make it my bitch. Just kidding. Please don't be listening to this with kids in your car. Oh my gosh. But that is exactly what I decided to do. I decided to become very empowered in my marketing. I've been studying marketing for the last 7 years, and it's the way that I have been able to grow 3 6-figure businesses. I run a full-time photography business that grosses well over 6 figures and has for many years. I run a workshop business that I'm teaching 5 workshops this year that has grossed me over 6 figures. And I also run a very successful consulting and coaching business where I teach other businesses. How many times can I say the word business, you guys? Where I teach other businesses how to make money. For some reason, that is my superpower, besides my intuition, is how to make more money. I may be the most awkward one at a social gathering, but learning how to make money or showing a business how to make money is truly my gift. And I do believe it's because of the time that I have developed and devoted to master marketing. So my entire goal into giving you this free training, which may be the longest free training that you have, but it's long because I care. It's long because I want to give you so much information. Even if you listen to the first 5 and go and start implementing those right now, they will change the face of your business. So a few things before I read through all these carefully crafted things that you're going to get out of this presentation. I need you to do 2 things for me. 1, I need you to be committed to a higher standard. I need you to step out of the box of doing everything exactly as you think everybody else is doing it. Posting to Instagram once a day, going in, getting in an Instagram pod, and feeling like you have done your marketing. I need you to become empowered in your business. Why do I need that? Because the world needs that. Because within our own evolution comes the evolution of the world. If we are a mirror of the world, then we are a mirror of finding. Let me start that over, you guys, because I'm not going back and editing this. If we are a mirror of the world, then our own evolution represents the evolution of the planet. And the more that we grow, the more that we become empowered, the more that we take control to provide for our life and our needs, the more we get to, one, teach others how to do it, two, just provide more happiness in the world because we're more present and capable and loving with our spouses and our children and our partners and our best friends and our siblings. So I need you to commit. Take a deep breath. Commit to your own empowerment. Commit to taking your business to the next level. Can I get an amen? Are you guys in it? Are you going to do this with me? Okay. The second thing I need you to do right now before I go into these 25 tips is I need you to come at this with a beginner's brain. There are going to be some of you who are listening to this training and you are brand new to starting your own business, and all of it's going to be like, yes, I could do that. I could do that. Yeah, I could do that. And there are going to be some of you listening to this who have been doing this business for 10 years and you're a little jaded that you watch other people's businesses grow and you can't get yours to grow. And I'm going to say some tips on how to market, and you're going to say, oh, I've already tried that, Darcy. I've tried that. Give me something else. What else do you have? And I'm going to tell you that it is that exact attitude that is creating the business that you currently have. You are completely responsible for where your business is. If your business is failing, it's because you are failing your business. If your business is struggling, it's because you are struggling to run it. So you need to listen to these 25 ideas I'm about to share with a beginner's mind. Having a curiosity, having a clean slate to take these ideas and pretend you've never heard them before, and really think about how you could implement each of these things I'm going to talk about. That's the way to become a badass at your business. That is my approach to every time I think, oh, I've already done that. I actually don't think that very often because I'm a very competitive person. So when I hear somebody say a marketing thing and I'm thinking, okay, I've heard that before, but how could I actually take that and put it into my business? And I'll sit with that for quite a while until I find a way that it will really work for me. So this training is for you if you want to learn how to market yourself and your business without being salesy or cheesy or crazy or annoying or all those other excuses that you've made up about why you don't like to market. We're going to love marketing. My entire goal for the next few months of my life is putting out information for you guys to understand how brilliant marketing is and how much it can help you. Okay, this training is also for you if you need to do more than just Instagram. If your whole marketing plan is Instagram, you don't have a marketing plan. So we're going to help you reach above and beyond that. If you are ready to be empowered in your business and take responsibility for its current state, that is a very empowering thing, to just take responsibility and be like, yeah, if my business isn't making money, it is because of me and my own blocks to my own success. Or it could be my own ignorance to the steps to take to get to my own success. This training is for you if you are finally willing to be visible. You will allow your clients to find you through more than one avenue. Sometimes you guys make it like hitting a bullseye, like a tiny little circle for how the world, who is your audience, to find you. You only go through one channel. That baffles my mind. We cannot do that anymore. This training is for you if you are ready to form lasting relationships, grow, create a community of love and high achievement, and you're anxious to jumpstart a new chapter for your business, wipe the slate clean, or you're just beginning and you want to refresh and restart, or let's get real, just start your marketing plan. So we're going to help. One of my biggest missions is to create like a yearly marketing map. I already have my 2019. I have all my launch dates. I have my wedding dates. I have everything to run my businesses are already inserted. And I even know when the launches are happening, what the email sequences are, how I'm posting to Instagram. So many of that stuff is already planned out. It's already planned out definitely till the end of this year. So I know when I wake up in the morning, I know what my plan is for that week and I go forward and accomplish it. That is true empowerment. Okay, so number 1, master the art of in-person promotion and sales. So many of you are afraid to promote yourself. I'm going to tell you a little story. So I live in New York half of the time, and I've lived there a long time. I went to NYU for my graduate degree in directing and film studies. And I remember I was at a storytelling competition. It's called The Moth. If any of you watch the TV series Girls, Hannah Horvath speaks at the Moth at the end of like season 5 or something, and she tells the story, and it's really powerful. And where she told it is exactly where it happens every single month, and it's where I was because I love listening to people tell their stories. And I was there and I was watching, and the first story that got up ended up being a wedding proposal. Dun 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 dun. And I watched this man propose to this woman and they hugged, and I actually had my camera with me. So I took out and took a couple of photos with them. That's better than just an iPhone. This was several years ago, so I don't even know how good the iPhones were at that time. And I went over to the couple. I gave them my card. I said, I want to email you these photos, and I'd actually love to shoot your wedding. I said, it's really cool that I got to witness your engagement. I'd love to do your engagement session and your wedding. I went over to them and did that in the midst of their engagement. Some people might think that's crazy, but they actually thought it was really, really sweet that I was there, and they ended up booking me to shoot their wedding. Like, how crazy is that? So master the art of in-person promotion and sales. I can't tell you, anytime I see a person who is engaged or just engaged or proposed to, or overhearing planning a wedding, or I see a Facebook announcement, I actually have no problem emailing them whenever I see somebody who's engaged, who I think might be my ideal client. I email them and just say, hey, I'd love to send you over some information. I have a really great rapport with people. I have a great way of approaching people, but do not kid yourself. That is me selling my service. The reason it's so easy for me to sell my service is 1, I absolutely love what I do. And 2, I know I'm really good at it and I know that I'm worth it. So master the art of in-person promotion and sales. I want you to also know these 25 things, I could talk about each of them for like 2 hours straight. And I will go into more in-depth training in other training videos, but this is just to get you a quick 25 ideas of things that you can start doing right now. 2, understand that free traffic isn't free or better than paid traffic. Excuse me. So let me explain this. So many of you do not understand how to run a Facebook ad or a sponsored Instagram post or any kind of like pay-per-click or Google AdWords. You just think, well, I don't know why. It's almost like being a film shooter, which I am, but film shooters can be a little elitist. Don't you think so, digital shooters? And I know a lot of you on this call are not photographers, but if you work with a photographer, there's a sense that film is just better. And I'm a hybrid shooter and I do love film, but it's the same way as people feel about all my traffic is organic. I'm not talking about buying Instagram robot followers. I don't think that does anything to grow your business. In fact, I think it can really harm it. But what I also think is that all that time you're spending to grow, quote unquote, organically is still your time, and your time is worth money. So it is still costing you money. Whereas if you would actually take control to understand Facebook ads, which I do talk about in depth in my full marketing course that I'm releasing this September. See how I snuck that in there, everybody? Of course, because I love this course and it's everything I've learned in the last 7 years about marketing for creatives. I'm shoving it all in this really badass course, and I'm going into depth about understanding Instagram and Facebook ads, because I think people try it once or twice, or they boost it, or they don't really understand how to actually do the analytics. And so they have a bad experience with it once, think they wasted their money, and give up. This is not okay. You cannot do this if you want to grow your business. Business owners will tell you again and again that it's the people who can spend the most money to acquire a customer that gets the most customers. So if you are one of those people who are thinking sponsored ads or pay per click or something like that is just either one, too much for you and you don't want to do it and you think it's salesy, or two, you aren't claiming that you need to understand how to do it, I want to change your mind. And I want you to understand that whether you're growing your business organically, which I have done with all of my Instagram following, but now over the last year, I've really been doing a lot of Facebook ads and different things like that. That is actually saving me a lot of time, and my time is worth money. So there's not one that's better than the other, but I do think there's a power in understanding how the paid traffic works and can work. And you know it works because you've signed up for so many courses that were sold to you through a Facebook ad or a sponsored Instagram post where you got a free training, you swiped up, you did it, you got on the training, and then you bought a course that hopefully bettered your life. I'm hoping, it works really, really well if you actually have an honest, good product that works, that has amazing social proof, which means testimonials and people love it. That's really important. But please stop thinking that just organic reach is somehow high and mighty and better than paid traffic. Okay, number 3, understand the core stories of your business and tell them more often. Whenever I coach somebody and they have that complaint, I don't know what to say on Instagram, there should be at least 3 to 5 core stories that are part of your business. This is about you finding your voice and about you creating a brand trust. The best speakers in the world will tell the same core stories again and again. One of my big ones, and it was because it was the thing that changed everything for me, is when I was working in this basement of a high school. I was miserable. I didn't feel appreciated. The kids were all addicted to their smartphones. I was having to waste so much time just trying to teach them standardized testing instead of teaching them true creativity and community, as I was teaching drama at this time. And I would sit every lunch and I would watch these videos about how to make my life better. And the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, yes, Will Smith himself, who I attribute so much of my success to, was this one singular moment. I was sitting, hovered over, eating something gross out of a plastic container, watching my laptop until the next period started. And I remember Will Smith being interviewed. And the interviewer asked him, if you weren't going to be an actor, what would you be? And Will Smith looked at him and said, I don't make time for plan B. That detracts from plan A. And I realized in that moment that teaching school was actually my plan B life. I got my teaching degree at the very end of my education because I was actually worried that I couldn't make it as a writer and a storyteller. So what did I do? I tagged one more year onto college. How many of you done this? Played it safe, taken the path of least resistance. And I got my secondary education degree. And then guess what I did as soon as I graduated, you guys? I got a job teaching English because it was way better than trying to move to some city like New York, which was my dream at the time. I didn't move there till at least a decade later, and figure out how to become a published author or writer. So that's a story I tell often about how my life changed. And it's a story that is so much a part of me because so much of my brand, my life, what I do is about living your plan A, doing those things that you want to do even if you're scared of doing them. And I'll tell you what, I book wedding clients, I book portrait clients, I book coaching clients, all because they're very drawn to my stories and it's really who I am. This story really happened. It was so important for me. I didn't realize it at that time that it was important to me, but I knew that it was a core moment of me making a huge life change. So I want you guys to understand the core stories of your business and learn to tell them really well and learn to share yourself with the world in a way that you're comfortable with, in a way that inspires, and in a way that connects with your art. Okay, number 4, truly understanding how content marketing can and should work for you. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, you need to get on this bandwagon fast, because in the next 2 years, it is going to change. This is already changing. There are already so many freebies that you can opt into that all of you are probably shaking your head saying, please, Darcy, don't make me create a freebie. However, what are you listening to right now? Point told. Boom, bam, I'm giving it to you straight. If you create a freebie that is really, really valuable, so it can't be something simple that people don't want to give their time to. I truly think this training is worth a lot of money, at least over $100 or something or more. I charge $600 an hour for consulting and coaching, and I'm giving you an hour of my time teaching you some of the things that it's taken me years to understand. So content marketing means providing content. And you don't have to just do it for other entrepreneurs. And I know you see a lot of people do that. Like, let me help you grow your business. You can do it for your brides. You can do it for other clients. I'm trying to think of other ideas besides brides. They're just always in my head. But I know some of you are florists or calligraphers or copywriters, or, you have so many different, there's so many different creatives here on this training. But if you could start to create content, which in my mind means value, I want you to do it in a way that not everybody else is doing it. So I almost just said, let's just get on a coaching call and talk about it. But that's truly it. You really want to think about what your content would be and how it can best serve in your business. I don't think the same content marketing works for everybody, but I do think there is this sense of you do need to serve, you need to give to your clients, you need to make their life easier, and you need to make them feel more, more in tune with who you are and why they should book you. So for example, if you are giving a client a proposal, which I'm a huge fan of sending personal individualized proposals, and that's another thing I do teach in my marketing course, is I have a whole section just on how I craft my proposals, because I craft them differently than everybody else that I have seen. Most people get an inquiry in their inbox. They send a nice little thing like, hi, yes, I would love to. I'm free on this date. This is what I am like. What are you like? Let me ask some questions about you. And they've probably bought an email template off of somebody. Not knocking email templates. I will probably never do them because I don't think they're good. Most of the time, I think that you have to understand your core stories, and you have to understand what value makes you stand out. So taking somebody else's email template isn't really the best way to get into that, right? So I would rather you, anyway, I don't need to get into, I'm so bossy. I just start bossing around what you should do. But the way I send proposals and the way I write my emails is really in alignment with my core stories. And then I offer them some extra content. So for my brides, I give a couple of pieces that is really above and beyond. I'm not going to go into exactly because I've got to keep something for the course, but I go above and beyond what they would expect than just the pricing PDF, which is usually what most people send them. They mostly end at the pricing PDF. Raise your hand if you end at the pricing PDF. Some of you create, like, you have a template proposal, then you put in their little details, and then you send that, and that's as far as you go. If that is as far as you're going, that's why they're ghosting you, because that's as far as everybody's going. You do have to take it all up a notch, and I would love to give you lots of ideas of how to do that, which I will at some other time. Okay, number 5. Network in Facebook groups that are different from your industry. So many of you are in photography groups, and then you just sit around and talk about photography. None of those people generally are going to hire you to photograph them. It's very rare. Or you're in florist groups, or you're in, I don't know what you're in, but you're in groups where you're all the same and you're all hungry and you're all probably complaining how nobody's booking you. That is my biggest pet peeve, and why you won't see me spending a lot of time in any Facebook groups, even in my own industry, because they just get in there and it becomes a complaint fest. when I booked my second destination wedding. So my first destination wedding, I should actually, oh my gosh, I've got to tell you that story at some point during this training. It was to the Dominican Republic. My second destination wedding was to London. I was in a Facebook group full of marketers, actually. And what I would do is I would post like a weekly photo, because guess what? None of those marketers were film photographers. So you see this beautiful photo of this gorgeous girl I photographed in Mallorca. And here's her lips, and here she is. And it's captivating, right? It's like my photos have a presence. And so I would post a photo, like one of my best ones, and then I would highlight, like I would help or offer something, or like I would just be really helpful when in the group. I would hop in, and if somebody had a marketing question, I would answer it. And I was just always really present and active in the group. And so after about 5 months, I got in the group and I said, hey guys, I know we are a group of women, it was mostly women, who believe in dreams and manifesting and that things can come true. And I want you all to know that I have a dream that I can photograph a wedding in London this year. It is one of my biggest dreams. It's something I really, really want to happen. Can any of you help make it happen? And I kid you not, there was a lady from London who is now one of my dear friends, and I have photographed her many times, and she is amazing. And she said, hey, my best friend is getting married at Kew Gardens, which if you guys don't know London very well, Kew Gardens is like where you would expect Hugh Grant and Julia Roberts to lay on a bench together while she's pregnant because she was a movie star, and he's reading her some kind of poetry and his hair is perfectly floppy. It's just the most beautiful set of gardens. And she referred me, and she put me in touch with her friend Charlotte. And I ended up booking that wedding. And not only that, Charlotte also booked my sister to do the makeup. So my sister April, who's also a major, major manifester, and I went and we shot my second destination wedding, April's first destination wedding, in the city of London with women who have repeatedly given me business. I've done so many different headshots in London because of the connections that I've made here. And I work different Facebook groups like that all the time. I want to go where I'm one of the only photographers. I want to go where not everybody is like me. Like if you're a photographer, especially if you're a film photographer, and you know the Contact 645 group, how many people just see like styled shoot after styled shoot? And what is the question they all ask with that styled shoot? Guys, where should I get this published? No, you need to get off that group right now and go market in a different group. That is, if that's the only thing you do, and we're only at number 5, I will have radically changed your photography business. All right, number 6. Look at how cute this couple is. I love this couple. This was taken in Paris the last May that I was there. It's so fun. Learn to blog with purpose. So blogging should no longer be you blogging an entire session. What it actually needs to be is it needs to bring in more engagement and traffic, which means you need to link it to Pinterest or to other things. And you actually need to give content that's like, hey, here's 5 top summer hairstyles or updos. Like let's say you're a hair and makeup artist. If you show, so yeah, I work with a lot of hair and makeup artists. I'm just trying to think how to shorten the story. But basically, like, let's say you give 6 hair trends for brides or something because you're a bridal hair and makeup artist, and you put that on one blog post, and then you pin from there, especially creating a rich pin, which I'll go into a little bit more. That's going to have the chance to bring you in way more traffic than if you just post an entire wedding. People don't really look through entire weddings unless they're coming specifically to look through your portfolio, but that should be separate from your blog. So the whole way you're blogging now actually needs to change. And what happens is most people know the old way of blogging isn't working, so they just stop blogging altogether, and they don't realize actually if you blog with purpose, if you actually understand how to bring people and SEO and everything and traffic back to your site so you get higher up in Google search engine, it is so beneficial. So you still need to do it. And again, in my marketing course that I'm releasing later, we will go into a whole deep dive into exactly how to blog with lots of blogging examples. All right, number 7, cross promote like you're on The Sopranos. And what is The Sopranos? They are the mafia, and you want to create a little creative mafia. That means you need to have 4 to 5 core people that you cross promote on a regular basis, who have similar audiences from you, who are not your direct competition, and who you can also work with to exchange jobs. So I do cross promoting on Instagram a lot. And then in my wedding work, I have about 3 to 4 photographers, and we all have our own promotional group, meaning if I can't take a wedding, they're the first 3 that I'm going to send their name to. It works so much better than if you're in a Facebook group and somebody's like, hey guys, I have a wedding referral. And then like 72 people comment and say, yeah, I can take that. I can take it. I'll take it for $1,000. I'm all the way over here, but I'll take it. I'll take it. And you just want to give up on your business altogether. It's really important for you to create a mafia. I'm sorry. My last name is Benencosa. I come from an Italian mafia background. So why am I confessing this on a live training? I'm sorry. But anyway, you want to create your own creative mafia and make sure that you guys network. Again, I could spend a whole hour on this topic, but have 4 or 5 people who are in your pocket. They're your go-to people, and you guys really learn how to promote each other on Instagram to improve your reach, how to share, have a referral system, and really have each other's backs. It is key. All right. Number 8, make a list of influencers and micro influencers and network with them. Make them an offer they can't refuse. Ba-boom, ba-boom, pa-ching. All right. So this is called market research. And market research is basically looking at the people who are having the highest amount of influence in your certain city and figuring out how you can serve them and help them so that you can get in front of their audience. Now, that might sound shady, but I really believe if you have something to serve, so let's say it's a fashion blogger with 300,000 followers, and you say, hey, I'm going to take some photos of you, but most people, I always use photography as an example. I'm sorry about that. There are other ways that non-photographers can also create a list of influencers and make it work for them. But let's take this photography example. So what they do is they're like, yeah, I'll photograph you for free. But they don't put enough in place of like what the expectation is. So they just think a tag is enough on Instagram and a tag is not enough. So you need to actually come to these influencers, give them things that they need, but also make sure you're getting what you need. Because if you don't, then you're just going to feel like you're going around giving free stuff, and you're not seeing a return. And I see people burn out on that a lot. But what you can do is really set up your boundary, but create, again, an offer they can't refuse. They probably can refuse, hey, I'll take a photo shoot of you for an hour. I bet they have so many people offering that. So what could you offer that's above and beyond that will really, really help them think like, wow, I cannot refuse that. And if you have a list of talents, I want you to write them down and start thinking, sorry, my mind goes to dirty places. French kissing is my talent. I'll French kiss you and take your photo. This is going in a bad direction. So, okay, are you all awake? Are you all with me? We're only on number 8, and I'm talking as fast as I can. You want to get those influencers, and you want to create a different offer than what your brain is going to always go for the obvious. It's going to be like, offer them a photo shoot, offer them a free meal, offer them to come into your place of business, and you'll give them something for free. You've got to make it more compelling than that, because I'll tell you what, if that's the first thought you had, that's the first thought every single person who has thought this has had. And you need to think better than them, because remember, empowerment and high achievement and shunning mediocrity. Number 9, do the most badass giveaway across all platforms. You can Google it, you can watch YouTube videos, but giveaways, at least 3 a year, really do help you connect with a new audience. They help you bring traction to your Instagram and Facebook, and they help you just kind of like work with different brands. I did one in particular for my new relaunch in February. I got a ton of new followers. I met a ton of new people, and some of those people ended up booking workshops for me, which means those giveaways grossed me. I think it was somewhere around like $12,000, because that's how much I sold in workshop tickets after a giveaway. And they said specifically, I found you through the giveaway, and I found you through the partnerships that you made on the giveaway. Number 10, get clients to buy from you more than once each year. This is key. It is so much easier to keep a client you've already acquired, instead of going out and finding a new client. So find ways, and I have lots and lots of them. I could lead you through a ton. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be baiting you with this. We've got to get down with these 25, but there are so many ways. If you are a family photographer, offer them summer photos, and then offer them fall photos, and then offer them spring photos where they're getting photographed with a baby bunny and they're just like holding this baby bunny. And then in the summer, offer them a photo shoot underwater because you rented out this pool, and make it so families cannot refuse to book you 2-3 times a year. You can do the same with brides. You can do the same with so many different clients. You can find a way to continue to meet their needs and to give them something they need and want, and that will benefit and enrich their lives. Don't just sell to somebody once. Figure out how you can keep meeting their needs. Okay? Number 11, 1. Make a time-sensitive offer because the human brain fears scarcity. So if you're going to do a time-sensitive offer, I would do it with a little bit of leeway. Like, you kind of need to launch it a little bit. I wouldn't just do one Instagram post or a Facebook post and say, hey, for the next 6 hours, this is happening. Although you can do that, much better if you have an email list. Many of you know about email lists. We can go into depth about an email list, which I do in my marketing course. I'm not even sorry, because it's going to be the most badass marketing course for creatives. And if you think I'm funny now, no, I'm sorry. It's not. Yeah. Okay. Keep going. Did I mention I was socially awkward at parties? Okay. So make a time sensitive offer. I do think that this is important. I do think that the human brain fears scarcity, even though we know when we're getting a time sensitive offer, we're like, we know what they're doing. And yet, when we really want something, we will take action. I would say 80%, I've been doing the research, 80% of most launches or products sold, 80% of them are sold the last 2 hours before it closes. So make a time sensitive mini session offer, make a time sensitive copywriting blitz, make a time sensitive cake sale, cupcakes. I mean, whatever your job is, try to create something time sensitive, but offer it almost yearly. So you build excitement and people look forward to it, and they know it goes away, and they know it only comes once a year. They will be so much more compelled to buy. You might not make a ton of money the first year, but if you keep doing this, you're going to make a lot of money. Okay. And then with that money, you can, buy a collection of all the movies The Rock has ever been in and watch them on repeat on lonely Saturday nights. Okay, put keywords everywhere. So Pinterest descriptions, Google descriptions, all in all your blog posts across, there is such a magic in keywords. It makes me feel like a beautiful mind, like when Russell Crowe's, I really do. I studied film. When Russell Crowe's taking that, he's writing on a window, all these intense equations. That's how I'm looking at my blog post to figure out where are the keywords. I have lists and lists of keywords that I've saved. I study them. I relook at them. I look at the most searched words according to a topic, and I put them in my Pinterest, my blogs, my website, my email content. Keywords are key, all right? Ka-ching. That's the sound I'm looking for. It's only 11:52 p.m. Get curious about your copy. Curious about your copy, you say? Yes, curious about your copy and your communication. So most people, I know that's not you, but we're all guilty, will write a first draft of something and leave it at that because they can't be bothered to make it better. There is a really great book on copy. It's called How to Write Copy That Sells. You all need to go out, buy it, read it, and take more time time to really craft your copy. The headlines of your blogs, the headlines of your rich pins, which we're getting to, I don't remember which number it is, but the headlines of how you promote your PDFs, how you write your websites, all of those things, the headlines are what converts. Most people don't read long paragraphs anymore. They just read like the bolded part. And so you want to make sure that bolded part is hitting their mental triggers. Okay. All right. Number 14, bring back the magic of the business cards and pass them along. How many of you have business cards? Keep them with you. I pass them out at almost every wedding because people see me hustling like a mofo and they come over and they're like, "You're hustling like a mofo. I would like your business card." And I'm like, "Yes, I am hustling like a mofo. Here is my business card. Please hire me. I'm dependable." Bing. And then I wink at them. Business cards still work for me. I think, and I'm still using the ones that I bought 400 once from Moo 3 or 4 years ago. They're not even quite on brand. I am going to rebrand and get some nicer ones, but I'm also a little frugal. So I have about 89 left of these and I hand them out, and I hand them out often. I've handed them out on the subway. I hand them out. I'm just really easy to make conversation with though. I can tell if somebody would be somebody that I would like to, that it would be easy for me to start a conversation about what I do or something like that. So I always have the cards, and I have booked a job from giving a guy my business card on the plane whose daughter was engaged. You can't make this stuff up, people. You can't make this stuff up. But you have to have the business card with you to pass it to the man who will then give it to his daughter, who will then contact you, who will then book you for her beautiful, beautiful upstate New York wedding. Okay. Number 15, use link building and link back tactics in your blog posts and Pinterest strategies. That might make you want to poke your eyeballs out, that phrase. But basically what it is using links in all your posts. Because when you link to other things, Google loves it. And one of the best things that you can figure out is what Google loves. Make Google like a girlfriend or a boyfriend and sit and think, how could I please Google? Like, what will make Google more communicative with me? What will help Google send me more clients? And link building and link back tactics really will. I think you can just take the word link building and type it into Google, and Google will tell you what it is. You can also type it into YouTube and learn how to really connect. Plus, another thing that link back tactics does is it helps grow other people's brands as well, which in my mind is a bonus for, when you can really help other people while you're helping your own business. It's just like good karma circulating around, and you're getting smarter, and your blog posts are getting read more, and you're getting more traffic, and you're booking more clients, and the people that you're linking to also are as well. And they might be the people who are in your mafia, in your Sopranos group. All right. Have a strategic Google review marketing practice. So many of you know that I also own a salon, and one of the fastest ways that I grew it, my sister is the main owner, but we grew it by having a very strategic Google review, so that within the first, I would say 4 months of it opening, we got more Google reviews than every single one of our competition. Now, we only had 3 competitors in Salt Lake City, but within 4 months of us opening, even though one of the competitors had been open for at least 5 years, we became the number 1 search return with Google because, like I said, treat Google like your girlfriend. We treated Google very well. I had a very crafted way of getting the testimonials from people and getting the reviews and leading them through the process. It was a system. I didn't just wing it every time. I had a system that I took them through, and that would leave us with really good reviews. And that made it so that every time, Salt Lake City actually has a lot of conventions that you wouldn't really think, but it's a happening place. It's snazzy. It's got game. It's actually got like a Whole Foods now. And so when people would come into Salt Lake City to go to these big conferences, the women, and sometimes the men would Google like getting my hair done. I need a salon because our salon doesn't do cut and colors. It just did hairstyling. And so it would be like, I need a blowout, which when I say that, a lot of people who don't know what a blow dry bar is really wonder what I'm talking about. But, you're getting your hair blow dried. And we were the top at bringing those clients in as well as bringing in other clients. But when you have the most Google reviews and you show up first in the search bar, how many of you, when you're searching on the search bar, look at the Google reviews and think, well, there's 5 things coming up. This one has the most stars and the most 5 stars and the most Google reviews. I'm going with this one. I know I do that because social proof is a mental trigger, and it's one of those things that we as humans believe in. Number 17, find where your customers will likely be shopping and get an ad in front of them. So I've done so many collaborations with different store owners because I'm not afraid to talk to the store owners, offer them photos, help them with their Instagram, do lots of different things. And in return, they oftentimes put a card. I don't do cards as much in like stores. I actually create a special offer just for the store that is in. So I've done it with a bridal dress shop. I've done it with a couple of other things. And then I have the ad up there in front with some really compelling visuals, and I get a lot of traffic just from that. That's more grassroots. That's not like paid, on Facebook or something, but it's getting people local in your community to book you. And to me, that's always a bonus. Number 18, learn to use rich pins on Pinterest. It's time. If you are ignoring Pinterest or you pin once a month and think you're doing an amazing job, I want to tell you you're not, but I love you anyway. So rich pins, I want you to Google those. Those are actually pins that you link back to content. So when I'm talking about content marketing, doing rich pins is one of the biggest things that you can do. I've seen some of my coaching clients grow from 7,000 followers to 149,000 monthly views. Not followers, I meant monthly views. So 7,000 monthly views to 149 monthly views just through doing rich pins. Another one grew from like 600 monthly views and now she's up to like 53,000 monthly views. And from those monthly views, they are getting inquiries. They're getting more traffic to their blog, which ups their SEO, which ups how they appear on Google and all of these other beautiful connected chain of events that happen. So go Google rich pins. It's time that you do them. Repurpose content. So those blog posts that you're writing twice each month, next year, I want you to repurpose them again, change up the pictures. You don't always have to create everything from scratch. You can repurpose a lot of your stuff, repin. The pins of mine, because I'm pretty interested in what gets pinned of mine and what are the most looked at pins and repinned things. The ones that are the most popular, I make sure get repinned and move it through Tailwind. If you don't know what Tailwind is, it probably sounds like a weird word to be saying in accordance with Pinterest, but it's an app and it's a software program that helps you manage your Pinterest. So you can repurpose and should repurpose your content. Number 20, get other creative outlets to publish your content. So when I was doing some weddings a couple of years ago with marriage equality, I was one of the first photographers down on the scene to photograph the first gay marriages, which actually got legalized first in Utah. I know, Utah, full of surprises, man. So I ran down there, I took photos of couples getting married, and I then got on the news with the content that I had created. And then I got on another news station. I was on ABC4 in Salt Lake City. I was on Park City TV. I did a couple of other interviews. Then I got on Out Magazine, which featured a engagement shoot that I did. And then it even ended up with The View. Yes, Whoopi Goldberg and the women of The View showing images that I had taken. And it really was awesome to see, and it got on Huffington Post. It got on so many different things. Now, it did not magically get there. I strategically pitched many of these things so that I could really use what I had created and get it out there. I really believed it needed to be out there. I loved the couples that I had photographed. I thought that it was really awesome that Utah had done this. And so I used other creative outlets than just the regular places for me to get published. I used other outlets. So you can do that if you're not a photographer and you're not getting content regularly published online. You actually could. You could come up with an article around what you create and you could submit it to the Huffington Post. I know many people of many different walks of life who, if they can get a good enough idea together, they can get published on the Huff Post. They can do a lot of other things to get an audience looking at them. Get them checking out their Instagram, their Twitter, their blog, all of these things. Okay. All right. Number 21. We're down to the final 5. Enter creative contests and get on podcasts. So podcasts are awesome because so many people are listening to podcasts instead of watching TV or listening to the radio. And I'm sure all of you have your favorite podcasts that you listen to. And if you could find and search out podcasts that your stories, your art could be featured on, that's going to be one of the best ways that you can market yourself and grow your audience. The other thing is to enter creative contests. How many of you have entered your photos in a contest, or entered a writing contest, or entered a cooking contest, or entered any kind of contest? They, even if it's a local thing, so you get best in state or you get something like that, it's still a recognition, and you still get more eyes on what you are creating, which is the entire point and purpose of marketing. Number 22, engage with the last 10 people who liked your post. Give back what you want to receive. My number one rule about Instagram is stop hyper-focusing on the likes or what you're doing or what you're creating or all of that. Obviously pay attention to what you're creating, but don't let it consume you so your whole mood of your day depends on what just transpired on Instagram. My whole rule when I hop on, I don't spend a ton of time on there, like just checking out or watching stories. I'll allow myself to do that sometime, but I really like to be more intentional. So when I pop on and I look at the last 10 people who liked an image, I like to go to their profile, look around, like some posts, read a little bit about who they are, and actually improve my community so people aren't just a bunch of unknown monikers. Is that the word for like Instagram handles? Whatever your name is on Instagram, I want to get to know you. Some of the best friends that I've met in my life, I've met through Instagram. One of them, my dear friend, Celine, are you listening to this? She lives in Paris, and I met her through Instagram. And she was following me and saw that I was in Paris and messaged me and said, hey, I would really love to get together with you if possible. I am a person who sometimes thinks that coffee dates from Instagram can be like really bad first dates. So I'm a little wary, but I was actually having a little dinner party over at my apartment. So I said, hey, I don't know if I can do coffee, but if you can come over right now, you can have dinner with me and a couple of my photographer friends. And she did, which I think was so cool of her because she didn't live very close to me, and she got dressed and came over, and it was like 9:00 at night. And she arrived and she had a bag of potato chips, which was like the only thing that she had in her house. But that is just Celine's personality. She won't arrive at a party without bringing something. And she has since then become one of my dearest friends. One of my biggest reasons for being on Instagram is to make friends across the globe, to create connection, to be inspired, to read your stories. I really value and love the people who've come into my life, and anybody who takes time to read my story, man, I want to take that time to read their story. So one of my best marketing tips is when you don't know what to do, get on your Instagram, look at the last 10 people who interacted with you, and go create a real interaction with you. Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya. All right, number 23, utilize video across all marketing channels. Yeah, give Instagram TV a try. Google what Facebook watches. Start a YouTube channel. Video, even if you are any type of creative, you need more video in your marketing. People are not reading anymore. It's a sad truth. I do read. If you read and you're single and you look like The Rock, please, my number is, just kidding, just message me through Instagram at Darcy Benicosa. Video is it's not even the future, it is the now. It's what's happening. The videos that I've created for I don't do a path workshop, one of my workshops, without having a videographer. I got my start in my coaching business and grew it to 6 figures within 2 to 3 months because of the YouTube content I was putting out. So even though I'm a master at still images, I create a lot of video content, and I think that it's absolutely imperative for any business to create visual content that gets their brand, their stories, their creations across. So that is a non-negotiable, you guys. If you're not creating video content, we need to talk. Them's fighting words. It's now 12:08 a.m. All right, 24. Understand that social media and marketing are non-negotiable. Please stop complaining about, I don't know what to post on Instagram. I don't have enough time to do Pinterest. I've let my Facebook die. I've had somebody's like, should I have a Facebook account? I'm like, yes, that's, if you're running a creative business and you don't have an outlet on one of the major social media marketing things that now owns Instagram, you don't think their algorithms are corresponding, this is non-negotiable. Just stop complaining about it. I just don't complain about it anymore because it's part of my life, and my job as a creative is to connect with other people, and social media has allowed me to do that in multiple ways, and so has marketing through various outlets. So I market at least 8 to 10 hours a week. 8 to 10 hours a week spent on marketing. And it's not all just on Instagram, because I only spend about 2 hours a week on Instagram. So you need to understand, you have to up your game, you guys. Remember what I said at the beginning? You're going to create a higher standard. You are not going to be mediocre. You're going to stop wasting time complaining about marketing, and you are going to get empowered and understand. Start with these 25 things. Go out and do one of them for every single day for the next month, and your business will change, because that forward motion in our business, that empowerment, that idea of, you know what, even if I don't get an inquiry from this place, I'm going to get one from this place, is what makes being a creative so much fun. And it doesn't have to be a stress or a pressure, and you don't have to put all of this hard pressure on your business to perform. It will perform for you when you learn to market. I love marketing. Number 25, serve your city. I live in New York a lot, and I was out to see the Book of Mormon musical because, yes, Utah connection, you get it. One of my dear friends that I went to school with at BYU, Brigham Young University, a very Mormon university, he was the only Mormon. Well, he wasn't Mormon anymore because he was gay. Why am I getting into all of this? Just forget this part. So he was in the Book of Mormon musical. I went to support him, to see him. I went to the Book of Mormon musical, and I was so inspired by all of the actors and actresses in the musical that I took the playbill home that night. This is going to show you my level of dedication and my level of how much I don't even consider it marketing, but it's marketing. And I found as many of the people, so I looked at their names because they all have bios. I would search for them on Facebook. If I could find them, I would friend them. I would send them a message about how much I love the Book of Mormon musical. And I was a photographer, and I would like to take their headshots for free as a thank you for their art and their creativity. So I did this. I ended up, I think 3 or 4 of the cast members out of 30 responded and said yes. One of those cast members, she is still on Broadway today. In fact, she was just on the Tony Awards in June. She's in a really great, gorgeous musical called Once on This Island. She was in the Book of Mormon musical. She has just been active. She has the voice of an angel. So I took her headshots, and we got along so well that she then said, hey, I'm getting married in the Dominican Republic. Would you like to come photograph my wedding? That happened for me supporting my friend in the Book of Mormon musical, taking the Book of Mormon musical playbill home, emailing everybody within the playbill, taking headshots of 3 people, this third person getting married in the Dominican Republic. It turned into my first destination wedding. I flew from New York out to the Dominican Republic. They hired me for 4 days of wedding coverage. I got my own villa. When I landed into the Dominican Republic and went out to meet the private car that was going to take us to the villa, standing next to me was a man that looked very, very familiar. I was like, who is that? Who is that? And then I thought, oh, that's the guy that's on Oprah all the time. That's Michael Beckwith from The Secret. And I don't know if many of you have watched The Secret, but Google him, Michael Beckwith. As soon as you see his face, you'll know who he is. I was starstruck, even more starstruck when he got in the same car with me, and we had a 3-hour drive to the villa, and it was me, Michael Beckwith, and his wife. And I was thinking, what the F is happening to me? He ended up being dear, dear family friends with the bride. He performed the blessing ceremony on Thursday night. He gave a sermon on Friday night, and on Saturday he married them in the most intimate and beautiful. I still remember so many words that he said when he was crafting the vows between those two people, because he took exactly who their souls were and created these vows that, as I was listening to them, I wanted to commit to them too. And it gave me a whole new level of what I wanted in a partnership when I found the right one. And so that was my first destination wedding. And that was me getting out in my city. And yeah, I've done it in New York, sure, but I've done it in Salt Lake. I've done it in Paris. I've done it in Switzerland. I go out, participate in my community, serve the other artists in my community, and oftentimes get hired by other artists. So serving your city, going out, find a way to put something together, to connect with someone, serve your city, love where you're living, and create that magic. That is marketing. It is awesome. I love marketing. So just remember to market like a ninja. You must consistently exceed your clients' expectations and fulfill their deepest needs. And your consistency in your message and in showcasing your genius will work wonders. So marketing, guys, the number one thing, you have to be consistent. You can't do it for 2 hours one week and then forget about it for 4 weeks and then do it again for 2 hours. That will not grow your business. That will not grow your business. That will not grow your business. Consistency is the key for any major success that we have in life. Being empowered, knowing that you can bring in clients from so many different avenues is the most empowering thing that you can have when you're running a creative business. That's me taking my great friend Camilla. I'm loving the look there. Why am I talking about this? Okay, it's 12:15 a.m. I'm Darcy Benincosa at Darcy Benincosa. Remember, if you have any single friends who look like The Rock, you're going to send them my way because I am looking to take a lover. So those are the 25 marketing tips. I hope you enjoyed them. I hope you feel empowered. I hope you know that that is just the tip of the iceberg in what you could do to market your business every day like a badass. So I want you to get empowered in your business, commit to a higher standard, go out and retry things that you feel that you failed at, and really make your creative business work for you. Thanks so much for joining this. I hope this freebie was worth it, your time and energy. If you loved it, I would love if you subscribe to my newsletter, and you can sign up for it at darcybenincosa.com. And I'd also love if you wanted to leave me any feedback of things that you go out and you implement and you try and you have great success. I always love hearing your success stories by implementing the marketing techniques that I've talked about today. Everybody have a wonderful, wonderful day. Go out. Marketing is non-negotiable. You are amazing. Everything is awesome. I love the world. Goodbye.